Oh, we're going to get weird, baby. We're going to get strange right here on Clark the Shark's crystallized, psychedelic, underground, flower power authority. From a guy that was 3 years old in 1968, when this very gentle, kind album was released upon the public by one of the most all-time fabulous bands. I swear to God, you guys, me, Clark the Shark at 1-800-449-8255 from the fabulous golden EIB Sharkerphone. It's not a microphone, baby. Not here on Little Sharky Psychedelic Garage, baby. It's a golden EIB Excellence in Sharkcasting, not Broadcasting Network. Solid gold Sharkerphone, not a microphone. And when I'm talking about SA Clock, the SAC third album, one of the weirdest albums. I mean, you thought the Beach Boys Smile or Smiley Smile or Wild Honey and all that, you thought those were weird, you guys, but we're about to go weirder here. The World in a Seashell, the Strawberry Alarm Clock third, but not final album. Yes, there would be at least one more that we know of, where they switch gears and they become like this killer rock and roll blues driving band on that next album, but we're not talking about that. Or when they kind of get back together in recent modern times and they continue their fabulous cult following, you guys. And when you listen to these three first albums, you realize why and how SAC is the real psychedelia and all the others are pretenders, you guys. I'm not kidding. Now, with The World in a Seashell, the third album, a lot of people think, this is too mellow and yeah, they could have done so much better, but I don't know. Me, Clark the Shark, you know me, I'm kind of weird and I like mellow shit. I don't know why I do, you guys. I can't figure me out. And why I like this album so much. Now, of course, I don't like it as much as those first two SAC albums that were so incredible. This album is definitely a step down, but in a ways, you guys, in a way, not a ways, but in ways, I should say, it's a step sideways. It's a lateral move by SA Clock, this album. This weird, mellow, really easy listening. It's almost Baroque pop, but it's like Baroque psychedelic pop. It is just so weird. Now, if you're a really cool hip cat, you smoke weed, you pound beers, and you take drugs, and you got tattoos, and, you fuck 8 girls a week, and you're just hella cool, man. This album is not for you. So I want you guys who are really fucking cool to leave this review right now and get the hell out of here, because I'm not addressing you right now, today on the Clark the Shark Show. I believe this is November 22, 2023. Now, if you really dig in and listen to SAC, you realize these guys entirely have their own sound. And it is nothing like any other band, you guys. It is absolutely unique. And mellow or whatever, take it or leave it, you guys. It is what it is. It's got that Lisa Kudrow thing. You remember her from Friends, where she grabs a guitar and she just starts telling the truth. She'll just sing about her cat box or anything. And she just tells it like it is, 3 chords and the truth. Once again, like the other two SAC albums before it, this album does that too, with more orchestration and lush, score over a lot of the songs. It very much does indeed. It is a continuation of that SAC sound, you guys. Yeah, side one has a lot of covers like, Carole King, and there's a lot of non-SAC songwriting that I guess their management did because the second album was kind of a commercial failure, brilliant though it is. So this third album, they tried very hard and they succeeded accidentally. Side one is killer. I love it. And I actually like it more than side two, where S.A. Clock takes over and starts writing all the songs on side two. I like it too, don't get me wrong. I like this whole album. I love the lyrics all over, an angry young man. It just really hits you with the truth, and it's scary how it hits you. It's almost, of course, too mellow for its own good, or too good to be this mellow or something. But for me, Clark the Shark, it all works. I don't know why. I guess I just love anything from the late 60s. Now, this album sounds very 1967, you guys. It's dated, and it is behind the times. A lot of bands in 1968 were moving ahead with a harder rocking sound, and eventually, SAC would catch on to that and, in a way, revisit it because, Incense and Peppermints is a heavy song from the Strawberry Alarm Clock, you guys. But then the rest of their music is mellow, and yet it's very interesting and unique. Incense was a one-time thing where that kid hanging out at the studio was singing and all that, and some other songwriter wrote it, and it was just a magical moment that happened. But totally unrelated to that, S.A. Clock writes their own style on practically everything else they do. Doesn't really sound like Incense. That song was an aberration, just a one-time anomaly, really. And they don't sound like that song. They sound like this album, The World in a Seashell, 1968, right here reviewed on the Clark the Shark show from the Golden EIB Sharkrophone. And I'm going to get into every one of these weird songs on this strange album. Now, the first song we all know, Seashell, side one, John Carter, Tim Gilbert. Not written by SAC, but what a song it is, and what a way to start the album, you guys. I love that song, Seashell. It's very mellow, and it's, it's verse, chorus, kind of predictable thing. It's it's like that, but the melody is so strong and the atmosphere is so catchy or something. I really, for a mellow Baroque pop psychedelic tune, I love it, you guys. It's one of those songs I've listened to over and over in my days, and I can't get enough of it. Seashell. What a nice little song. And I can't say it reminds me of anything, the Association and the Beach Boys are definitely fused into SAC, you guys. But on this album, they kind of develop their own sound. These songs are very short and concise. It's like they're trying to be on the radio, but no. And track two, Blues for a Young Girl, gone. Carole King. It's a great song, you guys. And An Angry Young Man, of course, Bob Stone, killer. I love that song, An Angry Young Man. It's that Lisa Kudrow thing where And of course, I, Clark the Shark, do that with the greenhouse effect, where I just write these songs that are staring you down with the truth, and you can either handle it or you can't. And An Angry Young Man with these lyrics definitely does that. Sometimes I'm almost happier that side one isn't really written that much by SAC. A Million Smiles Away, though, Lee Freeman and Ed King, is classic SAC, you guys. You know, just a continuation of those first two amazing albums. Maybe not as good, not as heavy or something, or just not as involved. You can tell the management was desperate to get this band on the radio or something here, but that adult contempo mellow thing hadn't yet arrived yet in 1968. These guys are kind of, I wouldn't say they're ahead of their time, but they're doing a sound so mellow that it has to have really strong songs like The Association if you're going to do that, you know, that mellow thing. And they almost do it here, you guys, on this third Strawberry Alarm Clock masterpiece. It's underdone, underplayed, cold in the middle, half-baked all over this album, and yet I like it exactly as it is. Now, Home Sweet Home, John Carter, Tim Gilbert. You know, Hootie and the Blowfish rip off this and other bands, you know. Gosh, the Jefferson Airplane / Starship. I can go on and on. This progression is used a lot. But Strawberry Alarm Clock with Home Sweet Home definitely uses it the best here. It's all good. And Lady of the Lake, Carole King, Tony Stern. It's good stuff, you guys. Side one is really solid, really mellow. Lots of, you know, violins and shit, orchestration and scores. And I wish there's more lead guitar and heavy shit happening, but in a way, no, because I'm like kind of crystallized and mesmerized here and laying back, and maybe I don't drink or use drugs, but this album makes me want to maybe just drop a bottle of like Ludes or something, you guys. I get so mellowed out when I listen to this. I mean, I don't want to smoke marijuana, but like this album, dude, it truly is an album where you can just relax and mellow out to. And yet, when you concentrate on it and focus in, it's involved rock music here somewhere. It's almost like it's built for you in an altered state, you guys. And then again, no, because it's commercial and pop all at the same time. Now, of course, side two is much more like SAC that we know. Barefoot in Baltimore, of course, a classic. Freeman, King, Whites. And it became like an anthem for the city of Baltimore, really weirdly. Even to this very day, you guys. Mellow, easy listening, SAC, you guys, but a classic. Now, these final 5 songs are where SAC says, you know, they put their foot down and they're like, this is a Strawberry Alarm Clock album, baby. Wooden Woman, Heated Love, and of course the classic Love Me Again and Eulogy, and the awesome Shallow Impressions. What a song that is, you guys. So much instrumental killer shit happening, you know, in ways side 2 is much better, you guys, because it's Strawberry Alarm Clock being Strawberry Alarm Clock with these awesome songs, and the, you know, the lead guitar and killer drumming and things are happening. It's mellow, you know, it's easy, like side 1. But I love these songs on side 1, you guys, especially Seashell, Blues for a Young Girl Gone. And of course, An Angry Young Man, but I mean, Home Sweet Home too. It's all killer, and Lady of the Lake. And A Million Smiles Away, baby, by SAC. This album does no wrong for me. I dig mellow shit, you guys, and I fucking dig this album. And the reason why my reviews are so good is because I do my homework, you guys. I don't memorize like liberal Democrats do, or people with college degrees that, they're up till 4 a.m. memorizing. They really don't know, you guys. I only take these notes here and write them to myself because I'm getting older and I'm forgetting all the things I want to say about, fabulous rock music and great albums like this, you guys. Great weird albums, though. I like weird shit. It's got to be weird. And of course, like I said, my one little note to myself, the Sharky adjective, it's got the Lisa Kudrow thing, like all SAC. It just tells the truth from the mouth of babes. It does. Every song. It's almost like Carole King knows just what to write when she's dealing with SAC. I'm bummed they gave up on this sound, you guys. Of course, the next album would be a classic, though. But it doesn't sound like these 3 SAC albums. But I'm going to review that one, and I'm going to love it, and I'm going to tell you why. It's where they get heavy and rocking. It's a little too late. I wonder what more SAC might have sounded like, Yeah, it's mellow, this album. It's very mellow. But go listen again. Do indeed, right here on the Clark the Shark Show, Barefoot became an anthem for Baltimore. We all know that. It indeed sounds very much like SAC before it. It does, you guys. It's a little more organized and concise. Doesn't have all the shit happening that I really loved about, the Guru album and the first one. Now, of course, they would switch gears huge after this album and, of course, really change into an awesome blues rockin' band, at least for one amazing album, you guys. That next album is killer. It's missing some guys from the original SAC, but it's almost like I don't even care. And you know me, Clark the Shark. I don't like band lineup changes, but that new lead singer they get, dude, you gotta love that shit. And believe me, I wish this version of SAC could have continued through the 1970s. They probably would have just done mellow songs like Bread or, shit like that. Who knows? But the lyrics here are awesome all over this. Carole King, you guys, Tony Stern, and S.A. Clock. Yeah, I'm bummed that side 1 is largely songs written by other and not S.A. Clock, but yet it all works. Here, baby. Yeah, it does. Now, if you're cool, leave the fucking review right now, baby. I said that already. And don't come back neither. What a weird album this is. Baroque psychedelic pop, baby. The third too mellow album that gets bad reviews. And from mere mortal men, like All Music or Rolling Stone or all that, or classic rock, it should get bad reviews. But from intelligent people who are genius, like me, Clark the Shark at 1-800-449-8255, baby, it could only get an awesome fucking review. The World in a Seashell, the third album, amazingly mellow and weird, strange album that I almost like more than the Beach Boys, because Brian Wilson is trying so hard to do something, and then Strawberry Alarm Clock comes along and they just do it, and better than him, and the Beach Boys are just dumbfounded. Because I think what it is it's like SAC just tells the truth even more. You could tell these guys had bad lives or something, and or just shitty upbringings. And it's in these first 3 albums with their weird twisted lyrics and the way they just torture you. You're like, I want this to be heavier and more guitars, and yet they're narrating and you're listening to the story. It's kind of like Harry Nilsson. Not really, though. Maybe a little like, God, dude, I can't even think of it. If you gave like Jack Bruce of Cream a bunch of acid mushrooms and downers and barbiturates and locked him in an elevator and gave him a fucking acoustic guitar and then said, dude, just really be slow. Every song dreary and almost backwards. Dude, it would fucking sound like The World in a Seashell. The third amazing, twisted, weird album from the Strawberry Alarm Clock. And sadly, this really would be the final SAC album proper. Even though that fourth one is so interesting, you guys, in itself. And, the other 2 albums are just way better than this one. I'll admit it. But this one has something. I can't figure it out that those don't have. And the management here, in their zest to make SAC get bigger, actually fucked up SAC and made them worse and go downhill, but in an accidental good way. I can't figure it out, you guys. Sometimes that happens, and it happened right here with The World in a Seashell, right on the Clark the Shark show, where you really just got the only review you'll ever want or ever need of this very oddity anomaly of an album, you guys, that is so mellow that you please don't do drugs and listen to this. Don't do any Valium or weed, or don't drink a fucking bottle of vodka, dude, because you might go insane. I'm not kidding. Listen to this album sober. Don't drink coffee. Just perfectly sober, no drugs at all. Maybe just an aspirin. And listen to this. You don't need to listen to it loud. Listen to it in the bathtub. And if you want, go buy it at Spotify, Amazon, iTunes. And check it out, dude. Especially the songs that SAC writes all over side 2. But side 1 is definitely interesting. Right here on the Clark the Shark show, you guys, you just got the word, the testimony, the gospel, the truth from the Wolfman Jack on crack, baby. And remember my guarantee to you. If you are not 112% satisfied with the Clark the Shark show, I swear to God, baby, I will give you 100% of your shark back. Right here at Little Sharky's Underground Psychedelic Garage, where every album is weird, and there's something wrong with it. It's not perfect, because I, Clark the Shark, reviewed it. And I wrote and recorded it 50 years ago, and I fucked up, and I didn't do it right. I could have done it better. I should have done it better. In fact, I should have wrote Your Whole Life better. And you often look in the mirror and feel inadequate. And it's because of me, Clark the Shark, and the script I wrote all about you. Right here on The Truman Show. I mean The Matrix. I mean Clark the Shark Show at 1-800-449-8255. Where you see that sunset, that blue sky, those planets, Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, the sun, Andromeda, baby, they're not even real. I wrote them too. And never ever forget that I wrote you. Right here on the Clark the Shark show, and keep coming back, getting your daily dose or weekly dose or frequent dose of Sharky, because you need it, baby. Don't drop acid. You need to drop some Sharky. And I'll see you again soon. I'm out of here, people. Peace.